Let's get it on.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
going to talk about our top 10 cigars
And I'm not going to.
of 2013 is what we're going to talk
A
about.
little late than never, but we're here.
We are here. Better late than never, right?
Yes.
It's only because I had to have emergency dental surgery.
You're such a pussy.
I know, huh? I believe me.
I
was
know.
Gonna,
I'm not going to smoke it.
I would.
I'm telling you, if you end up with another problem.
If I have another infection, it's
Paul,
all
I'm gonna
my
come
fault,
up there
right?
and take you out
Well,
if you have another problem, because
it's been roughly
we need
20.
you.
He said to me last week, I can't do this.
Yeah,
He
but
comes in-
that was like a week ago.
Yeah, 3 days later from where you're not supposed to do it. Whatever. Okay.
No. It's been 20 days since I've smoked, and tomorrow's my birthday. So.
Okay. Oh, tomorrow's your birthday.
Tomorrow's my birthday.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm like, that's why I'm.
I'll take a day out of
that's
work.
why
Let's go. We'll go down to DL, go see Phil.
Yeah. So that's why I lit up the unnamed reserved, which is, the flavors on this cigar are just wonderful. I mean, there's fruit and spice and sweetness and it's wonderful.
Okay. Let's get this up and rolling. Where we going first? How we
Go ahead,
this?
Will. You go first.
Are we gonna go reverse order, or how do we want to? You want to go
Let's
reverse
go.
order?
I like to go 10 up. I don't know, whatever which way you want to go.
All
I
right.
like
Do
to
we
say
want to go
number
one at
one
a
for
time, or
last.
do we want to just read them all out?
Whatever we want to do. Let's get this on the roll.
Let's start with 10 and do a round robin.
All right.
Okay. So
number 10 for you, Coop.
all right, number 10. This was, when I kind of do my cigar of the year list, I kind of use a skewed year. So basically, I go from Thanksgiving of 2012 to Thanksgiving of 2013. That's how I could do the top cigars of the year in December. Maybe I'll change that next year. But there was a latecomer that kind of hit the list, and I've talked about it on the show, and it was the Alec Bradley Mundial, which I just fell in love with that cigar. It kind of started hitting the stores in November, and it was getting a lot of buzz in terms of the show, the trade show, and I enjoyed that cigar a lot. It comes in a unique kind of vitola, and the best way I can put it is it's like an inverse torpedo. So it's rounded at the cap and pointed at the foot. In my opinion, it's the best cigar that Alec Bradley's released to date. I mean, I won't even.
That factory needs help.
There's been issues with the factory, but this cigar that came out of there, it smokes wonderful. It was really, like I said, I was surprised, and I had quite a few of them in November to really kind of determine if it was a top 10 stick or not.
I'm sorry, what is this stick again from Alec?
Mundell.
Yes. This is one I don't think I smoked.
No. And I had one, but there was two dropped off. My little favorite chipmunk, Paul. I don't know what he did with the other one. So, but before we go any further, I just want to throw this in. Our list is a little bit different than most because I want to throw this out there, not to get everybody in a stool, but our cigars are top 10 off for the ones that are released in that time period.
Absolutely.
We're not bringing something back 8 years ago or 5 years ago. So I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, and we kind of adjust too. Sometimes cigars are released late in 2012. We'll make our list because they weren't qualified for the previous list.
Was bringing it up. So I just want to throw that. Anyway, what was yours, Paul?
My number 10 was actually the Elohio Salamone, which I'm pretty sure was released in 2013. And I tell you what, it's one of those smokes, a larger smoke, which normally is not our favorite. Larger smokes are kind of tough, man. You got to hang in there.
But that's a summer smoke for me.
Yeah, it's a long smoke. But one I thought, and I tell you what, some of the Salamones that I've been smoking lately, the one from Debonair, the Elohio Salamone,
Paul Gamarian.
The Paul Gamarian. There are some that are just, those three, man, you can't go wrong with those Salamone sizes. And the Elohio, for me, really stood out.
It's a journey.
It's a journey.
And that's the best way I don't want to
What I liked about the Elohio, really, was the medium strength and kind of medium body component to it. It really made it very, very smokable, and it made it more about flavor. And
it was a great smoke.
It was a great smoke.
It's a great call.
It's a great smoke.
Great call.
So that was my
who
number
aren't
10.
familiar with Elohio, maybe because this is a real boutique. I mean, this is a real niche boutique. This is a company that they have their own farms, they have their own factory, and they only make about 50,000 cigars a year. So they're really small batch. They can't grow anymore. Anyone who's had these Elohio cigars, they'll know that this is a solid pick by Paul.
Right.
I mean, that brand is just really doing some nice things.
Yep. It was a hard to find exclusive to a specific store, I believe.
No.
It was Winston's Humidor. It was Winston's Humidor, I believe, that had the exclusive on that.
Very good.
So, Stogie Cien A, over to you.
My number 10 was a Luciano Rothschild. I really, I'll tell you what. All rolled up for $1 for a cigar that was $4.99. I don't want to throw a price out there, but it delivered. I enjoyed it. It was a nice medium body smoke from beginning to end. Nice little 20-minute smoke.
You know,
enjoyable. I know that
some people create a lot of different top 10 lists, and that's fine. I mean, we're focusing on just the one. But if I had to create a top 10 list of the most value cigars, value in factor in price really heavily on that, I mean, that might be number one for me.
It was more than just value for me, though, because it delivered.
It did.
It
delivered.
It really, truly does. And I'm sure I didn't hit a lot of top 10 lists, but for me, I tell you what, especially up in the Northeast, when it's this time of the year,
to deliver that much at that price point,
I was
speaks
very,
to the
very
value.
happy.
And
I mean, what he's been doing, I was happy with that smoke.
I went back and smoked it today after getting your ballot. I kind of was just inspired to go smoke it today, and it's aged very nicely. It's really coming into its own.
I don't know if we have to skip ahead. That was a number 9 on my list.
Oh, okay,
actually.
Ironically, if you open up the box of 50, unlike some other cigars, I mean, the color variation is incredible. You know what I mean? And some can differ just a little bit. Just there is some, it is what it is. So we'll leave it at that. But I don't want to waste any more time on that. Number 9 for you, Coop.
Well, you and I think, both had this one at number 9. It was the Short Run 2013 by Ernesto Perez Carrillo.
Exactly. I see that. Okay.
I was like, when I looked at it, we both had it at number 9.
Okay.
Nice.
I'll let Coop go on this. And
I mean, I tell you what, I know a lot of people love the Short Run 2010 and 11. This one's right up there. This one was it flew under the radar this year.
It did.
Ernie went back to the Sumatra wrapper, which I think was the one, it's kind of, he had that on the 2010, which I love that Short Run as well. Just great classic flavors. You get some pepper, I get a little bit of exotic spice, a little bit of wood notes, a lot of toasted notes on there. I really like it in that the 5 7/8 by 52, which was that medium size.
Right.
But solid cigar. Really flew under a lot of radar. I didn't see it on a lot of lists this year.
Yeah, and the only thing I think what happened with that, Coop, was the early. When I say early, when it first came out, to be honest with you, it didn't deliver. This is a cigar that needed time. It really needed time.
Short
to
runs
develop.
Historically have needed time.
And
the 11 was like that.
Yeah. Well, maybe releasing too early. I don't know. I'm not going to speak for Ernesto. I couldn't even pick his totaling out. So I look at this, and I did every line every size in the line. The Corona Gorda was okay, but this Robusto, I blew out of 30 boxes at the store.
Wow.
I couldn't get any more. I went right to the right. This is.
I probably only bought 1 or 2 of those as well.
Really?
Yeah,
I
think I did like a little line sampler. I don't know
I got maybe about 10 or 12 left. If you want them, fine. If not, they're gone.
Oh, I'll take them.
Yeah.
I'll take them.
I'll
Based on what you guys said, I'll take them.
I'm telling you, if I haven't smoked 2 boxes of these, I haven't smoked the one.
No,
and they delivered. And like I said, what stood out the most out of this was the balance of the cigar. Great balance of the cigar. It really it delivered. It delivered. I really enjoyed this cigar immensely. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 9, we're on this. Paul, number 9.
Yeah, I had the Illusion Rothschild as my number 9.
So we talked about that. Number 8 for you, Coop?
Number 8 for me was the Liga Privada UF13 Dark, which I really liked that cigar. That was I'd say it was a small batch run of Ligas that kind of are periodically coming out. Um,
They came in at fairly irregular intervals
Yes.
throughout the year.
Yeah, but
And
maybe 1 or 2 boxes to a retailer.
every
Right.
time they came in, I picked up 3 or 4 of them, and I
Cooper's
probably have
right. 2 at a time.
yeah, and I probably over the course of the whenever they were released, picked up a full box of them, and it landed at number 6 on my list.
Yeah, yeah,
That's yeah.
it was. I tell you, I call it a permutation of the number 9 blend,
Mm.
and it's a similar blend profile, but it's been fermented or not fermented. It's been tweaked a different way with that, but I think they nailed it with that 5.5 by 52 Robusto.
It reminds you of what it
I
used
think
to be.
I think in any other size this blend would not have worked as well. But I have a couple of these, and I'm going to do some long-term aging on them because I want to see how they turn out in the future. I don't
That's a
know what
great
the aging
point.
potential is.
I'll tell you the age potential in the League of Nines when they first came out. Steve Sacker gave me a box when we launched it at the store. The aging potential wasn't good.
No.
It was right out of the box. That's the way it should smoke.
But those little pequeños I gave you of the number 9.
Yeah.
They were a year old.
Yeah.
Those
They were a
great.
year old, so they did maintain some age.
Yep. So
I was a
everything.
little worried when I sent them, but yeah.
No,
So I don't know because I've been smoking these when I get them, but I'm going to hold on to some of these UF13s and revisit it sometime in 2014.
Hey, Phil, you still on the line? No, huh?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
No, Phil. What do you think about the aging potential? What does that mean to you?
It's you guys hit on it. I mean, you got those dark tobaccos like Johnny stuff. It's so heavy that I mean, you got to get the majority of the water out of it. If you don't get the water out of it and let those essential oils stay, it's kind of worthless, you know.
So
some cigars a stronger cigar you can hold those cigars for 3-4 years. Are they going to change drastically? No, they're going to mellow if anything. But a lighter cigar, it'll just die. You'll be nothing in 2 or 3 years.
So for more or less, you're saying the water used on that wrap, excuse me, the amount of moisture that's needed for that darker wrap to even roll is even added onto the cigar. Correct, Phil?
Absolutely.
Right.
It has to be to make it pliable.
Right. Exactly.
I loved the strength and body and flavor combination they put in that UF13 dark, and I'm not a huge fan of really, really strong cigars, right? And this one really struck a chord with me because you could tell it was all about flavor, but it had a lot of strength and a lot of body. It produced a lot of smoke, but
I wouldn't call it strength. I don't know if maybe you guys it had depth.
Depth, yeah.
The depth in it was better. The League of Nine
like
to
a
me,
thick smoke, but it was
just it goes from year to year. As I'm talking I'm preaching to the quiet, Phil. Inventory is everything.
Yeah,
inventory means everything. So this way here, when the variations do change, it's subtle because you got so much inventory that's in there, and that's what's happened with the League of Nine. To me, I mean, Drew Estates is a great company, but
awesome.
Right,
good friends, yeah.
Super people. But the League of Number 9, where it's dissipated just a little bit, I thought the UF13 is taking over that category.
It did.
That's my opinion.
No, I agree.
For what it's worth. So I'm not knocking it by any means. Your number 8?
My number 8 was the Tatuaje Bel Ancre. This is that
That's the one
small little perfecto. We talked about it when Pete Johnson was on the show. I love this cigar. I bought a box of them, and I'm kind of just sitting on them because I think they're going to age really, really well. It was just one of my favorite cigars to smoke. I was really blown away by this size, and this is a blend that's been around for a really long time, right? And this size just really captured the essence of that blend. You get some sizes, I think, that capture the essence of a blend, and this one did it for me. Hands down, it was just such a unique size. The shape as well, I think, contributed to it as well, being tapered on both ends. Fantastic offering from Tatuaje.
My number 8 was, again, not just because he's on the show, was a Debonair Bellicoso. I was torn. As much as I like the Seguita, a fabulous cigar, I just got the meat and potatoes off this cigar. The Salamon's a phenomenal cigar. Every line is – this is and please don't get me wrong, not because he's on the show. This is one of the few cigars that I've seen that each and every Vitola has a different smoke. Not that other ones don't, and that's not what I'm saying, but this just delivers. And I'm telling you, this cigar,
I don't think I've smoked this particular size yet.
Oh,
so.
I'm going to tell you, this is, in my humble opinion, for what it's worth, this is the hidden gem in that line.
If you're saying that, I definitely haven't smoked it.
I'm telling you, it just says, I smoked more of these. I love the Seguita. That's the first thing that I met Phil in Vegas, and we were talking and whatever. He passed these out and whatever, and I thought they were very. I really enjoyed them. Coop, I gave you one. You enjoyed it. Paul, everybody.
I
enjoyed
really
it.
like that cigar
I smoked
too.
it. The Salomon is an incredible smoke.
Well, Stogie Cien, he's not exaggerating, and just so you know, when I first met Stogie Cien, he didn't have a relationship with Phil. He didn't know Phil, but that was the cigar. When we talked, he said, "You got to try this cigar," and he went and sent me one after the show. No, he gave me one at the show.
Yeah,
and
I gave you one. I said, "You got to do this."
Yeah, and this is dead on. Right at the beginning, he came on with that thing.
I'm telling you,
I wish we, hopefully now that we have Phil, on board, we're gonna get him into the Southeast because I'd love to see this cigar in North Carolina.
Oh, I'm telling you, this to me,
absolutely.
To me, there's another cigar I'll talk about, but in 2013, and I'll leave this alone, and we'll get to the number 7. This is the most unique blend to me that's come out in 2013 that just stood out, that just punched me in the face. It just. I know Nicaraguan. Everyone wants that cigar, and I get it. I understand that. But the Dominican and what he's done with this, if you look at the wrapper, the construction, everything about this cigar, you'll get it. It's ultra premium. It's not cheap. But you tell me, well, Phil, it takes him about 3 minutes to smoke the cigar. But it takes me, there's no other power smoker like Phil. You tell me, wherever you applicable taxes, wherever you're at, for $14, $15, $16, wherever it is, for an hour and a half, where can you get $16 in enjoyment? It doesn't happen. So that's what I got to say.
That's awesome. Thank you.
That's all. I can't say anymore.
Will? Are we? Yeah. Back to.
So do we get through all the 8s?
Yeah.
Okay.
We are through the 8s. So I think we're on 7.
Number 7.
Okay. So 7. This, when I tell people how I do my list, it's the best cigars I've encountered that I've at least smoked 2 or 3 times.
Exactly. Great point.
This was one kind of off the radar on a lot of people's list because it wasn't a big batch. But I've talked about it on the show. It's the Lou Rodriguez La Mano Negra. It was a very limited release of 100 boxes of 10 that only went to 13 retailers. This is the real thing that was special about this cigar. It's a Brazilian Matafina wrapper, but it's like no other Brazilian Matafina wrapper I've had before. It's got a lot more. This cigar has a lot more strength than. I mean, strength. It's a little bit of oomph you're gonna have where you'll feel it. A lot of depth with the flavor. It delivers a lot of great Maduro flavors: red pepper, espresso, that chocolate, black cherry. We're gonna have the Lou Rodriguez folks on in, I believe, February, and we'll talk more about this cigar. But this is a special cigar in my book. If it was more, if there was more tobacco for this and it was more widely distributed, we would have heard a lot more about this cigar. But this was my kind of off the beaten path pick at 7.
Okay. Good call.
Nice.
Your number 7, Paul?
My number 7 was the EP Carrillo Cardinal, the natural. There's several, there's several reasons for this. And I'm going to pull up the price from a website that has absolutely right now nothing to do with the show in terms of sponsorship. And you've heard me talk about Atlantic Cigar in the past, and as many of you well know, I'm a VIP member. And
very important prick.
Well, here's the thing. People still will say, well, I listen to your show and you talk about a lot of cigars that are hard to find or really expensive. This is not one of them. And this is the reason why it earned a number 7 ranking on my list. One of the reasons, right, is that it's a regular production cigar. You can find it in most shops across the country. You can find it at a reasonable price. A box of 20 is... at MSRP, it's $145, The regular price online is around 115 to 120 so dollars. Even in your local shops, with an event or whatever, you can find it for around $120 a box. Your VIP cost for this one, and again, it's not the cost of the box, right? You're paying a membership to the site. Keep that in mind. This is like a membership price. Gets it down to $94.25 for a box of 20. And once you smoke the cigar, and this is, could be one of the driving factors, Will, that why you'd want to subscribe to, a membership of that, right? So, and that's one of the reasons, because, that brings it to around $5 a cigar, right? With the membership pricing. Now, it's not really $5 a cigar because you're paying for the membership, but in any case, the EBC Cardinal Natural, it delivers. You're going to buy a box of 20, and then in a couple of weeks, you're going to be like, wow, I smoked through a lot of those. It's very smokable. It's very versatile. It's full of flavor. It's medium-bodied. The Robusto size is my favorite, and it is a great size for this cigar. Delivers in the flavor department. And again, regular production, reasonably priced, delivers in the flavor department, and that's why it was number 7 on my list. When I first smoked, I smoked some of the original samples that Ernesto had given to us, and I was blown away. And Stogie Geeks was saying, like, you got to try this. The other thing was it stuck in my mind throughout the year. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's another telling thing about this cigar. Yeah. So I think that's a great offering.
My number 7, some Big Cuba, was everyone went with the Toro. I went with the Herrera Esteli Short Corona. It delivered everything I want. It was a nice little subtle spice to it. I hate to use that word Cubanesque. It's such a shill word, but not shill is a correct word. But it delivers some great flavors. A nice medium body cigar. There's on my list, I only got one cigar, well, I should say 2, that has a larger Vitola sizes. And this particular cigar, to me, was 40 minutes, 35 minutes of pure enjoyment. I really enjoy this. This cigar sells out all the time at our store.
Which one is that now?
The Willie Herrera, the Esteli, the Short Corona. It really is. And another, again, not to keep hopping on this, but the Debonair and Willie and everything up here, what my cigars I love is balance. And this is what these cigars, to me, balance to me is most enjoyable. And like we said, I always talk about the back 9. And I love this cigar from beginning to end. Yeah. It's like a heavyweight fight. What do you remember? The beginning of the cigar is important, but the end is just as important to me. So I really enjoy that cigar.
That was a box-worthy smoke for me this year.
It truly was. I enjoy that cigar immensely. Will,
number 6.
My number 6, and I know Stogie's saying you may kind of disagree with this one a little. I remember when we talked about it on the show, but it was the Don Pepin Garcia 10th anniversary cigar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I really liked what he did with this cigar. It was my favorite of the limited releases he's done. I know it's got a higher price point, but I'm really enjoying it more. And I was fortunate when my birthday came around. A lot of people were kind enough to give me this, but this cigar was ranking very high beforehand. It was very different than a lot of the other Pepins. It's not your regular Garcia family cigar. It was a little more dialed back. Mm-hmm. I really love this retrohale on this cigar. It had almost like an herbal spice, and I think that's really kind of what separated it out from a lot of the other ones right now. It was more in the medium to full range, so it wasn't in your face as much. I think there's great aging potential with this one as well. Assortis was number 1 actually on Seth's Humidor's list too. He was surprised I had it this low, but it was a Chuck Norris cigar in my book, and I really enjoyed it.
I think what this cigar is going to do, because Coop, I'll tell you what, you made me a believer, because I'll tell you why. I went back and smoked the cigar. It reminds me of not that it's the same profile, but it did the same thing. The other limited, the limited releases, I'm not going to get into the whole thing. The 2010 was his I thought his best of his limited releases. Coop, didn't force my hand, but he was so high on this. I went back, and I'll tell you, Coop, you change.
Oh wow!
I'm not that it's on my top 10, but I'll
Right.
tell you something. I understand where you're going with it. It's better than when I was at the show. I had at the show. I was with I was at the booth and all that stuff. At the time, it was good, and I went back at the shop. It was okay. It developed better than what I expected.
And they've all. That's what I've noticed. You know, funny with the 10, it was the same way. I'm like, what's this so great about the 10? You go a year later with that 10. Wow.
Yep, I got one more of the 10 left.
It's a legendary cigar now.
The 11 and whatever,
Yeah.
it's just like I understand limited releases and all that, but you got to be careful with that. I can understand when you only got so much tobacco and all that. That limited stuff really has me on a different plateau. I don't want to go there, but anyway, I want to leave that alone. Phil, I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When I can go out and get certain whatever. What's I don't want to go there.
My number 5, is that where we're on now?
No, we're on number 6.
Yeah, I just did Did you do your 6 yet?
My
No.
6 was the UF13 Dark.
Okay.
My number 5 was...
I didn't do my number 6 yet.
Oh, sorry. Your number 6, Stogie Santa.
Was Christian Arroyo the Prensado?
That was in a tie for like my number 10. That was up there, man.
That was actually my 11.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah,
I'll tell you what.
I didn't smoke enough of those, maybe. But I tell you what, that
really-
the smallest. What is the smallest size?
Prensado.
Is that the one that's on your list of
Yep.
Prensado?
The Prensado. Again, I want to go back. And I'm not a huge Honduras. It's got some great cigars. They have a tendency to dry out on me a little bit. On my flavor, I don't know. Almost like a cotton mouth to me. Okay. And I'm going to tell you what. I keep preference, and if I'm a shill, shoot me in the brain. I don't care. Phil's cigar and Christian's cigar were the two most unique cigars that came out this year, in my humble opinion. They went outside the box. There was thought process in this.
Is that because there's Honduran tobacco in
No,
there? that
not
surprised
so
you,
much
or-
because, how's that? Even more so with Christian cigar, I had a negative condensation going into this.
because you thought you had preconceived notions about
Well, I
Honduran
said
tobacco.
just because when
his-
it's too much, it's
but
just,
his Aurora is a Honduran Puro.
Yeah, I know it. That's what caught me off.
Caught me off guard,
I mean,
too.
it did. And these two cigars, everyone wants Nicaraguan. And I understand the tobacco in the region and everything, but what Phil and what Christian did this year, to me, I take my hats off and I bow. I really do. I can't say enough about these two guys. They really put a lot of emphasis on their quality. You can see where it's come from, and I'll leave it at that. I think these two guys, I take my hats off to the both of them because they went outside the box. It's either Nicaraguan or they want to do the San Andreas, and I'm not knocking that. That's how far you want to go with that particular two different cigars and the type of region where you want to go. These two guys, this is, even though his is a Puro, I get it, but there's blendings, there's different, you got a Viso Seco that's involved in these. It makes all the difference in the world. It truly does. And these two cigars, to me, if people have not smoked these two particular cigars, please do yourself a favor and go out and try these two cigars. And I'm telling you, you will be more than pleased. More than pleased. So that's
Nice.
me. Number 5.
Will or me?
Go back to Will.
Yeah.
Back to Will.
Another latecomer to the list was the Avo TAA cigar.
Never tried it. But
Yeah, I
Will,
haven't smoked that one.
Let me tell you, in my opinion, it was a flavor bomb. This thing was really good. Now, I've given this cigar to several people who I know are Avo fans and are milder cigar fans, and they love this cigar.
There's a
Now, if
torch
someone's
right there.
more of a full-bodied fan, or it's not that a cigar for them. I call it a medium-bodied flavor bomb, but there's just a ton of flavors in here. I think it's one of the best cigars Avo's done since probably the LE11.
How
But it
about
had a lot of the
better than
LE11.
the 85th?
That was the 85th.
That was the 80. The
Yeah,
11
right.
was the 85th.
Hello.
Yeah. But this was Ablo's first box press. It went to the TAA, but phenomenal cigar. It really made a late surge. If I had smoked more of these, it might have been higher.
See, you're making my point, and I don't want to. I'm hopping this on again. You see what I'm saying? Doesn't have to be Nicaraguan all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Dominican has some great flavors, and once you get the primings and you blend them.
I think what all of our lists speak to is take your preconceived notions about what the country of origin, the wrapper, or whatever, and throw them out the window.
Yeah,
just smoke
I want to get Phil's take on this. Phil, am I preaching to the choir when I say this? Am I off the beaten path when I say Nicaraguan? Everybody wants that tobacco because, and Pete's a great blender by all means.
They're chasing. I want to lead. I mean, the thing is, I use Nicaraguan too.
I know you do.
Dominican.
I know you
and
do.
There's
Go ahead.
The blend. It's the whole key is the blend things.
Yeah. Right.
To me, a poodle outside of Cuba, which they get away with it. I mean, a lot of these cigars, I mean, they're not poodles. Don't kid yourself. They say they're poodles, but the binder's not from there, or the wrapper's not from there. I mean, remember, even Honduran tobacco, I mean, I lived there for all those years. I mean, there's the regions of La Jamastran, the Entrojes, and the border regions, and over there in Talanga, there's certain areas. They produced vastly different tobaccos. But to say that, I don't know if it's a lot of these, when they say it's a poodle, that means you got to be wrapper, binder, fillers, right?
Yes.
And is it? I don't know.
You made my point with Christians. That's what I'm saying. I don't know, that cigar, and I don't know. I'm
all the ones you've mentioned, beside that TAA one you guys have mentioned, if I smoked them all, they're all good sticks. There's not one that I could say that you guys did pull the dog, I mean, they're all good stuff.
But do you agree with that assessment, though, where I think everyone looks at Dominican, and I think Dominican gets a bad rap, is what I'm saying.
They ruined. They did it to themselves, and it's not the Dominican themselves didn't do it. It was the I'm not going to get into who the big companies, man. They beat them into submission. They were put Olor and Piloto Cubano, and during the boom, they were taking whatever they get their hands on, green as it could be, green as an apple, and putting it in the center of a cigar, and then you're smoking lettuce at that point, so you're going to go.
I'll
say
it's
like cat urine. I mean, that's not. Right. I don't use Olor and I don't use Piloto Cubano. And I have Mark smoked it. I got Piloto Cubano Mejorado, which is the original seed strain, which is awesome. And I still don't use it. No.
So I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking outside the box. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Whatever.
4 of my top 5, and I'll get to the others, were Dominican-made cigars this year. And I love Nicaragua. I love what Nicaragua is doing. But 4 of the 5. I
love them all, dude. I love them all.
Me too.
It's all got their. They all have their.
That's why I like having Phil here to chime in because of the fact that we're consumers. He has his finger on what's going on, and I love having. This is huge having him to really decipher this.
The really telling thing in what Phil's saying is too is that it's about the blend, right? It's not necessarily you can't just get focused on where the tobacco's from, right?
No.
People are going to create this blend, and it's what the cigar makes as a blend together that really is what matters. And throw your preconceived notions out the window. That's another
when
reason.
You eventually come down and you guys come here, I'll make you. You guys want a strong cigar? I'll make you. It'll be 90% Seiko. Yeah. And you'll be. This is the strongest cigar I've ever smoked.
and he'll do it because we did that. Let me just chime in, Phil. He did that. It's a great thing to do. If someone has never done that, to smoke different levels and different strengths, it's totally it's mind blowing. It's really something you have to experience to understand what a cigar manufacturer has to do.
My number 5, which is interesting, kind of segues into what we're talking about too, right? My number 5 is the Davidoff Nicaraguan, the short Corona. Now, cigar.
I got that. Okay.
Yeah, Cigar Aficionado, I believe, put the Toro on their list. I haven't smoked it. I've only
close.
I'm gonna full disclosure. I've only ever smoked the short Corona, and that one made my list. I mean, hands down. And a lot of that stems from. It's not my most favorite side. Like I don't really. If you put myself, Will, Stogie Cien A, and Mark Jr., right, the Stogie Geeks members in the room, and we start talking about what our favorite sizes are. I think you guys are going to, especially I think Stogie Cien A and Mark Jr., gravitate towards the petite Coronas and the smaller sizes.
Yeah.
Me, not so much. But this particular blend in that size really, really hit a home run with me. It smokes really slow, which I like. It delivers a lot of flavor, and it's very, very unique flavor profile. It's not typical Davidoff whatsoever.
No, it is because. But to take that away, you say that now. I don't look at size. I look at what it delivers. Now look at the Saquita. I fell in love with it. Now that's a smaller size the Phil puts out.
Right.
But I go with the Bella. Isn't
Yeah,
ironic?
yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I don't look at size. What I try to do with everyone's cigars, I smoke the whole line. I got to smoke the whole line.
You know,
I don't care who is it. You have to go there. You have to do it. Do you do that, Will?
I'm going to deviate from cigars a little bit, right, and talk about spirits and talk about beer, right? So let's talk about spirits for a minute. Some people will say, well, blended whiskey, and people will look at Johnny Walker Blue. And they'll be like, well, it's a blend. And they've got this preconceived notion about what a blend is. And I'm like, have you had it? Have you drank it neat in a glass with a little splash of water? Because I'm telling you, it's fantastic. Now, take price off the table for a minute. Yeah, it's expensive. But take those preconceived notions away. I bought you a glass a year or two ago, right? And you were like,
my 60th birthday party.
And you were like, oh, my God.
I was blown away.
Yeah. And it's not something you drink regularly, right?
Whatever.
But yeah, that's one
thing.
No, beer is the same thing, right? You may say, well, I don't like IPAs or I don't like lagers and what, but go sample some different beers in the different styles. And I tell you what, if you don't drink a lot of beer, come here in the summertime.
I never was a beer guy. Believe it or not, I was a blended whiskey, blended Scotch. I could not stand single malts.
Yeah,
but isn't that unique?
But come here in the summer, right? I'll give you a lager from Samuel Smith. They'll blow you away. You'll be like, oh, my God, this is great. It's refreshing, but it's full of flavor. There's no bitterness. It's not too hoppy. It's perfectly balanced. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In cigars, it's the same thing, right? And the Davidoff Nicaraguan Corona is great because you got preconceived notions about maybe Dominican tobacco, about maybe Davidoff tobaccos in general. I'm telling you, smoke that Davidoff Nicaraguan short Corona.
To round out the number five. Mine was Fuente Unnamed Reserve Robusto.
I'm smoking the Toro now, and I tell you what.
Wait till you smoke the Robusto.
This cigar has so much flavor.
I'm telling you, when you do the Robusto, you're going to change your whole. Not that I didn't like the Toro. It was a great smoke. The Robusto is going to deliver even more.
They did a fantastic job blending that cigar, to say the least.
It is. It's a great smoke. It delivers. What would you say? Balance, right down.
Very, very balanced.
And I'm not worried about this big complexity bomb. Whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Great smoking experience.
Yep. So anyway, we're wasting a whole lot of time. Number 4 for you, Coop.
Number 4 was a retail exclusive to Federal Cigar. It was another cigar by Ernesto Perez Carrillo. It was the Medalla de Oro.
Good call.
If folks listening have not smoked this cigar, you need to smoke it. What they did is they took the short run 2012 blend and they tweaked it with some additional Lajero and they put it in a Lonsdale, and they made it look like the Bolivar Gold Medal cigar. So it kind of looks like that. This is what I call that I use the term perfect storm, right blend for the right size. Wonderful. And Stogie Geeks has been talking balance, a lot during this top 10. This one really just screams balance at me, the way the flavors just all synergize. And it's, again, it's not an overpowering cigar, but it's going to have a lot of flavor with it. Again, they're not a sponsor of ours, Federal Cigar, but they have this cigar back in stock right now, and I don't know if they're going to have it again. So it's very reasonably priced, too. It's $8.75 a stick, and they come in boxes of 10. If you like that short run 2012, this one's going to blow you away.
We were speaking to the owner of Federal Cigar.
Yes, we were.
What his name?
Rick Gadway.
Rick.
Yep.
And we kind of, I'll be honest, full disclosure, we kind of got the inside scoop that these were gonna come back, and Will put it up on his blog. And I got to be honest, I went on the site and I ordered 2 boxes around the holiday time because it's that special of a blend.
Oh, it is.
And I tell you what, when they came in, It was over holiday break, and I opened up one of the boxes, and I sniffed the foot, and it was just.
What's it look like, though? If you look at it, what's it remind you of?
It's a beautiful.
What's it remind you of? You're looking at it.
Looks like a Bolivar gold medal.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
hands down. And you sniff the foot, and it's wonderfully sweet. I bought two. I bought two boxes, reasonably priced boxes of 10. Go get them. It's one of the hidden gems out there. And special shout out to Rick for kind of give us a little heads up there about when they were going to come back. And I believe he sent us quite a few cigars in the past that we've talked about on the show, and this was one of them. And I'm glad that I had the opportunity to smoke it. And hands down, I was like, I got to have more of these sitting in my humidor. Like, this is one you make space in your humidor for.
Yeah, I don't know if it's coming back after this.
Yeah,
that's why.
That's why I ordered two boxes.
It might not be.
And again, I got the inside scoop and inside baseball, whatever. But
we were kind of chomping at the bit with that one.
Yeah.
I know I'm chomping on a bit for something, but I'm not gonna be a shill. But anyway, number 4 for you, Paul.
Me, Noea Reserva from Tatuaje. This is the third or fourth release. Third release. I smoked the second release. I was blown away. People that say they smoked the original release was even better. For me, though, I bought the initial box when they came. The third release, I bought a box. I smoked through quite a few of them. I gave some to a lot of people as well as gifts and what have you. And people that are just coming into being Stogie Geeks, so to speak, raved about this cigar. They wanted to buy more of them, and so I bought a second box of these. So this was a 2-box purchase for me because I wanted to have one box to smoke through and another box to age. To me, Pete really hit the mark with this blend. It is so smokable, and really loved it and earned number 4 on my list.
I got to make a comment on that. So when I was a Stogie Geeks fan before I joined the show, you guys were the ones that convinced me to get that cigar.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys did not let me down. I remember you guys were talking about it. I believe that you, Mark Jr., I mean, you were all talking about Stogie Geeks. Absolute winner.
Yep.
I not to talk too much about this cigar, but this cigar had, when I first started coming to the shop where Stogie Geeks works, this cigar already had a reputation, a huge reputation for being fantastic. And I think someone was kind enough to maybe gift me one. Stogie Geeks might have gifted me one. Our mutual friend Walt might have gifted me or traded me one. Whatever. And it just had this reputation of being fantastic, and it lived up to its reputation. And when they were re-released, it still lived up to its reputation, which is why it ranks so high on my list. Because sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. This
Inventory,
one to me,
my friend.
This one to me is equally as good as the ones that were released before.
My number 4 is the Davidoff Nicaraguan Short Corona. I did the
There you
Toro. Good cigar again. I'm partial to the smaller sizes, and not all the time, but this particular cigar, I'll tell you what. I was at the show. He gave me the Toro. I liked it, and my rep said, "Mark, I know where your flavor profile is." He gave me the Short Corona, and he was dead on. I'll tell you what they've done, even though they changed ownership, they did everything with Davidoff. I'll tell you what, very pleasing cigar. I really enjoyed it. It delivered it in my wheelhouse. It really is. It's a 4 is a good spot for it for me for what it's come out in this year.
Cigar Aficionado ranked this one pretty high too.
I think that was 3.
Yeah.
I
kind of got to side with them on that one. And a lot of other people.
Cigar Journal had it 1.
Yeah.
So.
I was going to say other people have reviewed it very highly as well, and I have to agree. They hit a home run with this blend. They did.
Really did. Okay, here we go. Number 3.
Number 4, Will? Did you do your number 4?
I did 4.
Okay.
I did 4.
Okay. Keep drinking, Paul.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm on 3?
Yes, sir.
All right, this was kind of another. Now I'm going to say this about my top 3. All my top 3 came out at the end of last year. Now this one is kind of one I think I threw people from left field on, but I'll tell why. It was the Tatuaje Apocalypse by Smoke Inn. So I had smoked the pre-release of this before it was released, and I thought it was good. And I was talking to Willie Style of ToastedFoot.com, who's a good friend of mine, and he's like, Will, he had a chance to smoke some of these and then had some age on it. He goes, Will, He goes, this cigar, you just give it some time. He goes, you'll see. I actually went down to the launch of this cigar in West Palm Beach. I bought a box on his recommendation. Smoked better. By June, this thing is just smoking unbelievable. I mean, if you smoke the Anarchy, which is the other one that
I did the
smoking,
Anarchy. It was okay.
I'm telling you, this one in 6 months, that broadleaf wrapper is really settled in on there. This is just wonderful. And again, balance. Stogie Geeks hit it on balance. Great balance. It's just a classic Connecticut broadleaf blend. It's not it's not going to knock you down for a loop, but it's going to deliver just a ton of flavor. That espresso, that nut flavors, some nice pepper in there.
So I'm sorry, Will, for our listeners, the Anarchy was a smoke-in exclusive 2012.
Right.
11.
And this one was...
The end of actually the
Apocalypse was 2013 or end of 2012.
Yeah, they both came out the end of the year.
Okay.
It was actually 2010 for the Anarchy and the end of 2012 for the Apocalypse.
Okay.
Yeah. So Pete's done 2 of them. They're different
but
blends.
Different blends. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a Connecticut broadleaf. The other one's a Habano on there. And it's in a very unique kind of smaller. I don't want to say petite Salomon, but it's kind of a smaller Salomon is what it is. It's 5 1/4 by 48.52.
Nice.
If folks have not smoked this or want to revisit it, I mean, this is just a wonderful smoke by Pete.
Okay, are we on? What number are we on now?
3. I was the first to cover 3.
Okay,
I had
this is the 7th time out of 7 cigars. You want to know where you're
at? My number 3 is a Tatuaje Cojite. This was an exclusive to Tower Cigar, but it's also carried now by Smoke Inn as well. This is a short Robusto or petite Robusto size, which I have to say, I think one of the reasons why it ranks so high on my list is I really love that size. That we talk about our favorite sizes. That might be one of my most favorite sizes. Again, this is a medium-bodied flavor bomb. I might. Mark Jr. and I did kind of a. Or did you order these?
Yes.
Yeah, and I got 5.
Yeah.
3 went like that. I mean, I
got more.
I couldn't get enough of these. I was just smoking them, and I'm like, I got 2 left, and I kind of want to sit on them for a little while. And I tell you what, it was just a fantastic blend all around. The way it burned and the experience and the amount of smoke was perfect, and the flavor profile, just a fantastic cigar. Number 3 for me.
Number 3 for me was a Davidoff Black Label Corona Gorda, the Sun-Grown Corojo. The Tatuaje.
Oh, Tatuaje.
Sorry, the Black Label Corona Gorda.
Okay,
right.
That was number 3 for you.
Number 3.
Okay.
This cigar to me just delivered. I mean, his best. 2007 was his first release, right?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, we talked a lot about this cigar. Yeah.
Right, and I'll tell you what, I really enjoyed the smoke. And I think the aging potential on this one is even going to get better. This cigar of his black labels, I know what he used to do with his Robustos, where it's part of his event and all this shit. But this one, it's supposedly it's going to be a regular release coming in February or March, give or take the month. It delivered. It was a great size for that cigar. It was spot on. I'll take that over Cojite all day long. All day long. That's my personal opinion. Anyway, number 2 for you, Will.
What's interesting, so I'll kind of let the cat out of the bag. Stogie Sanders and I's 1 and 2 were identical.
Right. Well,
So this was hands down. I mean, I know they talked about they had the Davidoff Nicaragua this year, and I know that created a lot of buzz. It was Year of the Snake for me.
Number 2.
Oh, absolutely.
Number 2. It was Year of the Snake, and it's a 7x49 Churchill. It's got the Ecuador 702 wrapper on it, which is just beautiful. It's a cigar dedicated to the Chinese New Year. I just can't describe it. It's hard to describe it. The best way I tell people is if you're gonna pair this cigar, pair it with a hard cider. It's the best way to put it.
Interesting.
It is just one of the most unique flavor profiles. out there, and it's got a little kick for a Davidoff. It's not going to be your
It's not.
your
You're right.
final Davidoff, yeah. And in the Churchill, Churchill's one of my least favorite Vitolas.
Yep, me too.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. Right off the bat. Right off the bat.
This might have been a cigar of the year any other year compared to my one.
You're right. Exactly. If it wasn't for the number one.
No,
It's Oasis. It was given I gave it an Oasis level.
I hate to compare it, right? But Davidoff released this year the Year of the Horse.
Right.
Well, it came out. Like I said, it came out the very end of the year, just like the horse did.
But this one, how does it compare to the Year of the Horse?
The Year of the Horse is 60 ring, totally different.
Totally different.
Yeah, this Year of the Horse is, by the way, a very, very good cigar.
I agree.
But this one's got.
Not.
I mean, this one.
My Year of the Snake, I had construction problems with it, and I didn't have the same experience.
Problems with everything.
we got to put an asterisk on that.
Yeah, I don't know. That is an anomaly of all anomalies of cigar smoking that I smoked this cigar that you guys rank so highly, and I had
I've
issues
had
with
5
it.
of these, and not a one.
Davidoff's giving me this free. So
2 was given to me, and 3 I bought. It's a crazy price, but I don't care.
Yeah.
It's a special cigar.
When you're my age, price means nothing.
I've done some cursory looking and trying to find more of these, and I've come up short so far.
Really?
Mm. And I wasn't looking for most of the year because I smoked one. I was like, God.
And there again, this is what I'm saying. This is if you look at how balanced we are, the Vitolas do change. 7 of my top 10 are all small rings, but there you go. It can deliver.
Mine. We're on number 2 now.
Right.
My Cien Años Maduro from La Aurora. Now, I've always been a fan. I've talked a lot about the cigar, but I've always been a fan of the Cien Años blend. The Cien Años Maduro Robusto is extremely special. I can't believe the way they constructed and blended this cigar. It really just it blew me away. The complexity, the flavor, burn, draw, construction experience.
I gotta send this on the Phil.
Spot on for this cigar. Very, very special. Very hard to find. Which is, to give a little away, why it ended up as my number 2. Really, one of the only reasons was because it was just so limited, and the way that they distributed it was extremely limited. And if you were able to find it afterwards, it demanded a very high price tag for a Robusto, even higher than your Davidoff Year of the Snake. I mean, when you compare how long your smoking experience is, right? Like, this is a very expensive cigar. So it ended up as my number 2.
Now, Phil, have you tried this at all?
Oh, the Year of the Snake? Yeah.
No, not Year of the Snake. The La Aurora Cien A, the Maduro.
No, I haven't. I probably can get my hand on one down here.
Okay, we're going to do tomorrow when I get to the shop. I want you.
It's good, huh?
I want you because I was on we'll talk later about this off the air.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, it's a fantastic offering.
We'll leave it alone.
But the Year of the Snake guy, they gave me one in Davidoff Madison Avenue, and I loved it. And Davidoffs aren't my cup of tea. They're awesome. They're great made, whatever. Not to knock anybody, but they're not my profile, right? But
no, me either.
That was great.
Exactly. Yeah.
Me neither. Phil, I'm right on with you, brother.
Yeah. That was amazing, though. That was a good stick, dude. Like all around, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, so we're gonna go since
your number 2.
Well, my number 2 was with same thing as Phil. As Coop. The Year of the Snake. Mm-hmm. So let's go to number 1. Here we go.
Right. Drum roll, please.
Drum roll, please, Will.
Paul stole a little thunder.
Yep.
It's the Cien Años Edici, Especial, a.k.a. the Cien Años Maduro.
Yep.
This is a historic cigar.
Yeah, no, I agree.
This is landmark.
This is my wet spot.
It's one that comes along every few years. And they put that Connecticut broadleaf wrapper on that blend in that Robusto. And in my opinion, it's one of the all-time great cigars.
Yep.
And it's one of the all-time great Maduros. I don't know much more I could say about it other than, it was a hard cigar to get. But, man, if you got your hands on it, it was a hell of a cigar.
And the whole thing about that cigar.
And so, wait, this was your
wet spot.
number one as well.
Number one, yep.
Yeah. It was Mark Jr.'s number one as well.
I was the only one that ranked it number 2.
Yeah.
Right. It was such a special Maduro. My number 6, the Padron number 6. I enjoy the Maduro. I love it. This is special. I really think it's very unique. It has toasty. It has flavor. And it's sneaky strong too.
Yeah.
The finish. You get in the final third. Yeah.
Holy moly! Don't think you're going to sit there. And again, I don't want to scare anyone away. This is not for someone that doesn't like a full body cigar, but it's full flavor. Don't get it confused. It's got some strength in there, but it's just I could smoke these one after another.
Well, my number 1 was the Tatuaje Corona Gorda, the black label. This could go either way. I agree with you guys. Either one could go either. The thing with the Tat Black Corona was it was so smokable. I was able to buy a bundle and really smoke quite a few of these cigars. And each time I was never bored. I was never disappointed. Everyone smoked so well. It was so versatile. I smoked some right after lunch, some after dinner. Just unbelievable blend for being so versatile. The price point was a little lower. The availability, I think, was a little better on this one.
And it's going to be more than available.
And it's going to both of these cigars that are number 1, the Cien A Maduro and the Black Corona, are going to be re-released.
Right.
But both manufacturers have pledged re-release of these. And these are ones you got to make room for your humidor. You got to buy as many as you can.
Yeah.
This re-release.
You're never going to get bored smoking these, and that's what really. It was kind of almost a tie in my mind, right? These two are just.
Now think about number 1. Go back to what Will said. That is 3 out of 4, and I respect everyone's opinion on the show. And
just wait till I bring out my Maduro. That'll be next year.
There you go.
That's the point I'm making. But with Dominican. You see what I'm trying to get at?
Yeah.
I'm not pissing on anybody. Please don't misunderstand me.
No one's saying that. No, but you got to understand. I mean, there's many. There's Rolls Royce and Ferrari. They're both awesome. You know?
Right. I mean,
it
all depends how you drive it. You know what I'm saying? How you drive it, how you respond to it. Knocking nobody, and that's not my point. It's just I don't look at a region. I don't look at a name.
Right.
And I don't look at a label because it means nothing to me. It means absolutely nothing.
And we're talking about all the cigars that we smoked in a year, and coming down, to these two. We smoked. Will, what did we so we calculated in 2014 what we wanted to smoke and review for cigars, and it was kind of right in line with Cigar Aficionado. It was around 700 or 800 cigars that we wanted to smoke and review for the year, and to talk about these that are ending up in the top 1 or 2 is. I mean, that's really saying something.
I mean, think about something on this. And I understand your pick at number 1. I can't knock it by any means. But to turn around and say 3 out of 4, but better yet, if you look at it, the top 3 out of 4, it was right there.
Mm-hmm.
I knew when I had this in January that nothing was going to beat this cigar.
No,
it was
I
didn't know you guys in January. So I didn't even know you guys had the. We're high on this cigar. This is kind of what I just think why we have such a synergy as a team here, because we all just and I looked at a lot of the top 10 lists, and I only saw it on one other list.
Yeah,
it's probably availability, so I get it.
And this is what separates, and again, we'll go back, separates this podcast from most is it's not driven by sponsorship. It's driven by what the consumer wants. This is where a manufacturer we have on the line, this is what he wants to hear. It's driven by what the consumer wants to smoke. It's
absolutely. Remember. I mean it's the one saying we have at the factory. I don't pay my people. My partners don't pay me. The consumer pays me.
Right.
And exactly. And like I said,
they keep the lights on. They're paying. They're going to the store. They're putting up they're doing what you guys are doing. You're consumers,
right?
In the end.
And this I told Phil. I'm going to go down there. I want to go down there for a month. I just saw a small glimpse of what that factory was. and he didn't even know. He doesn't even know what I saw. I didn't even tell him, and I can't wait to go back. I really want to go down there for a month, just to see.
Door, you know you're welcome.
Oh yeah,
shadow you.
And I'm telling you, this guy here is ahead of the curve.
We got some tricks, buddy.
Oh no, it's not tricks. No, it's not tricks at all. It's just hard work. It's hard work.
Absolutely.
No tricks. No tricks. No.
That's it.
It's seeing every little thing, nothing at waste. Everything is just, it's critique.
Don't give all the secrets away.
No.
Don't give all
Critique. That's all I said.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
So we talked about some, the ones we've mentioned recently are pretty hard to find.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them ones are pretty high priced. I want to go back around for some of the people listening. They're like, oh,
Can I just ask? I just have a newborn and I got to go help my wife upstairs.
Yeah, go ahead, Phil.
It's getting late here. I just want to thank you guys so much. We're going to be in touch for a long time, and just God bless you all. Be debonair always, the whole 9 yards. And thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you, Phil.
Phil, do me a favor. Shoot me an address so I can send that Maduro down to it. And I want to talk to you tomorrow about this.
Okay, call me. You got my number.
All right, you got it. Later.
God bless you guys. Thanks.
Thanks, Phil.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what Phil thinks of the Tatuaje Black Corona and the Cien A Maduro.
Yeah.
So
if
you need me to,
I'll take
I'll
care
make
of
sure
it.
he gets some. If you need some from me, I'll contribute
I'll take
to
care
that.
of it.
Yeah.
But again, this list is just trying to show people that there is no.
But now, what about regular
Compensate.
production? One of the ones that I mentioned was the EP Carrillo Cardinal. What about some of the regular production stuff and more accessible cigars that have come out this year that really kind of shine on our lists?
Coop, help me. I'll put this one. I got a brain freeze. You picked my brain before you even started. The new San Cristobal with
Oh yeah, I haven't smoked that yet. The representative, the local representative,
the
new Ashton rep gave me
the
one.
legend.
Nice guy too.
Yeah,
I can't remember his name off the top
John
of my head.
Murphy.
John.
Yeah, you
gave
need to
me
give
one.
that cigar a little time.
Yeah,
exactly. It's a
needed
little.
some time, but
It's
it's
fighting
spoken
a
very
little
good
bit.
now.
And the same thing with the new one from Drew Estates. The
Nica Rustica?
No, the anniversary cigar.
Oh, I haven't smoked that yet.
Oh, that's the Hoya, the Cinco, the Cuatro Cinco.
Cuatro
Cinco. Okay.
Give that some time. There's another regular. Well, it's not regular production, but that came out. That's just another cigar to me. You put that down, that's going to be a really, really good cigar. But San Cristobal, that legend, I'm going to tell you,
really,
cigar,
it's interesting. It comes up in this light means a lot. It carries a lot of weight.
Yeah, it does.
This light from both of you. So.
I'll tell you,
and I was gifted one, and I haven't smoked it yet. So
the San Cristobal, usually you think of that spicy Pepin bomb.
Oh, it's a great blend.
This has
you give me some aged ones too that have just been fantastic from that blend.
I got some classicos in the back.
You gave me one.
Well,
I haven't smoked it yet, but yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
I got a 4 or 5. I'll send one down to you, Goop. Absolutely a bomb. Bomb. But another one that to me, believe it or not, that when it first came out, it was fighting each other. You're going to laugh at that Woodlawn by Christoph.
I haven't smoked that yet.
I'm going to tell you something. When it first came out, young, a little unbalanced.
That's what Mark was saying.
And now it's smoking better and better.
Woodlawn by Christoph.
That's his address, I believe, in
Chicago
or something. I don't know the whole particulars. I'll tell you what, a nice little smoke. Again, but yet that's not a super limited, but
so Adam in the chat says the Belle Ancre is also regular production.
Right.
Well.
Yeah.
I told you. Remember, I said that you thought the way it was good.
Yeah,
that Belle
he was bringing those back.
Yep. Oh, absolutely, all day long.
I was looking at our composite list of just right now.
Yeah. So how did you? We were talking about how you calculated that, Will.
I took weights. I took a weight, and
it's like a weighted average. Yeah.
Yeah, and what I did is everyone had a different number of cigars on that list. I think like Mark Jr. had more than 10. You had a couple of extra entries, so I counted those.
Okay.
But here was how it came out. It was number one was, and I want to mention this because there's a good balance of core and non-core. Aurora Cien A Maduro was 1. Tatuaje Black Label Corona Gordo was 2, limiteds. 3, the Davidoff Nicaragua core line. 40 Aurora. I believe it's a core line. I don't think that's going away.
And that's again, not as that just a core line, but that's reasonably priced as well. I mean, Davidoff Nicaraguan is a pretty high priced cigar.
Right. Yeah.
If you want to
Herrera
get into something
Especial is
that's
5.
yeah.
So that's core.
Nice.
6 is Year of the Snake. That's high. Limited. 7th is Noella's Reserva. That's sort of.
That's reasonably priced. Well, it's kind of on the higher. Noe Reserva. What are you getting for those $9 a stick?
No.
Yeah.
Those are $7.50.
$7.50 a stick, but they're limited production.
Right.
Yeah,
They're coming back out again. They're supposed to be coming back out again. They came out with a.
But the Aroas are reasonably priced regular production sticks.
Right.
Yeah.
And
there's a Will saying commonality between a list that was on there.
Yep. We had 8 was the Fuente Unnamed Reserve, which I have to still smoke that. I have the one Stogie Geeks gave me, so I want to smoke that. 9,
you're going to like that a lot. And I tell you what, the longer you wait, I think the better it's going to be.
That's why I waited.
I smoked the Toro tonight, and it was fantastic.
And I'll tell you what, it's another one I want to put on my list as an honorable mention. I think this year was one of the best years I ever come out with was a short story Maduro. Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's a fantastic smoke.
Oh, my God. I'm telling you.
And I tell you what, the Hemingway line in Maduro is becoming more and more accessible over the years. Seek that out.
Yep.
I agree.
I agree. I truly. And I'm going to tell you another one you're going to laugh at. And I think Coop, I take that back when I say laugh. I don't mean it like that. The packaging is incorrect because not that we're sexist by any means, but the Edici is not a bad little smoke. But the packaging behind that is hurting that cigar. Have you tried that cigar at all, Paul? I mean, Coop?
I haven't yet, no.
Oh, Coop's gone?
Yeah, Coop trying to get it back.
Oh, that's from tonight?
That's beer from tonight, yeah.
But trust me, not a bad little cigar, but it looks like
It's got a couple of ash flakes in it, too.
So what? It makes it taste better.
It's good, actually. We lost Coop. What happened there?
But I'm curious. Any feedbacks on any of what we said on the list at all?
Smoking said they had boxes of 100 Años Maduros. Year of the Snake is definitely Davidoff.
We know that's Davidoff.
Someone was asking about that. Will, you there?
I'm back.
Okay.
Will, what do you think besides the packaging? Take the packaging aside. The Edici, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Edici, Scratchy Sarah.
That was what was her
Grace
name? Grace.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
not that it was a phenomenal cigar. It was a decent cigar, but the packaging killed it.
I missed her when she was visiting the local shops here. I was. We were doing our special podcast for Wings for Warriors when she was visiting, so I didn't get a chance to smoke. She
wanted to.
Yeah.
It's I still saying it's a decent cigar.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with the cigar. It's not a dog rocket.
No. It's a try one for sure.
It's a try one.
Right.
And it's actually I think I did have it as a try one on the show. The packaging aside, I think it was a mistake with the packaging. The cigar is not a mistake. The cigar is a good cigar.
No. And I'll tell you something. For all the listeners out there, for $6.99, I got 10 boxes in. I don't know how I got them in. They just came in. If you want a cigar pleasure for under $7, the KNF Lancero.
Yeah.
Well, we smoked that on the show, and I remember I had it on the show.
Oh,
wow.
Great smoke.
Well, I don't know how that came in.
Oliva Milano.
Oh.
The Maduro, that torpedo. Fantastic.
But I tell you that KNF, I'm telling you, I'm just yelling at not for the store. I'm yelling out for people for $7.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yep.
Well, thanks everyone for listening.
Hey, Paul,
go ahead, Will.
A couple real quickies. Contest winners. Gary Fritz is the winner of the Camacho contest I ran. Jason Fletcher is the winner of Seth's, who's filling in when you were out. He volunteered to allow Aurora 2 5-pack. I will get contact with those winners. Seth also is going to be starting a new show on Cigar Federation called What Embargo, where he's going to be talking about Cubans. So we wish Seth some good luck as well. He's been a very good friend of ours in terms of donating prizes. So I just want to make sure we got those out tonight.
Nice. Well, thanks everyone for listening, and that concludes this edition of the Stogie Geeks Show. We'll see everyone back here next week. When who's the guest? Do you know the? I don't have the specifics of the show.
I don't have the specifics in front of me. I know we have a guest.
How's that? We have a guest.
I just don't. I'm drawing a blank right now.
Me too. I can't get on the internet, so
there'll be a
I'll
show.
look at the segments.
There'll be a show next week, and
we'll be here.
That. We'll be here, and thanks everyone, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Stogie Geek Show.
Thank you, everyone.